What is up, YouTube? Today, we're diving into the best PSG-1 attachments and calibrations in Delta Force. The PSG-1 is a semi-auto marksman rifle built for mid to long range engagements. It deals 35 damage per shot and fires at 353 rounds per minute, giving it a 340 millisecond time to kill up to 112 meters. It is a 2-shot headshot or a 3-shot body kill at most ranges unless you hit the arms and the legs. Compared to the SKS, the PSG-1 feels way more consistent and rewarding when you land your shots. It's not meant for extreme range, but it does perform extremely well between 70 and 112 meters. This build increases the magazine size from 10 to 20 rounds and boosts the muzzle velocity from 750 to 1014 meters per second, making it easier to land shots on moving targets. I have also improved its recoil control and stability, which makes it easier to see what is actually happening because it will have much lower screen shake. It will also let you hold your breath for as long as you need to while you're aiming down sights. And lastly, the ADS speed and the ADS movement speed are kept high enough to strafe effectively while aiming, giving you a much better chance of dodging return fire in a 1v1 fight against other marksman rifles. With all of that said, let's get into the attachments. We begin with that blank PSG-1 as usual, and starting off with the barrel, we go for the G3 enhanced long barrel combo. This will increase our range and our muzzle velocity, our control by a lot, and our stability. Of course, it will hurt our handling and accuracy, but it is a marksman rifle, so we really don't care too much about this. These new slots are going to come in handy too, so let's put this on. Next is the muzzle, where I have found that the Whisper tactical suppressor is the best one here because it gives you the range and muzzle velocity increase, while also helping out your control by a really good amount. If we take a look here, firing stability and vertical and horizontal, just everything is better. Only hurts your handling and stability by a tiny bit, and it doesn't slow down your fire rate at all, which is the main reason why we're choosing the Whisper tactical suppressor instead of the silent suppressor. As you can tell, although it gives you more range and muzzle velocity, it also really slows down your weapon. And if you already only have 300 rounds per minute for your fire rate, slowing it by 40 more rounds per minute is not a good idea. So let's go for the Whisper tactical suppressor. Next up is the foregrip, where we'll be putting on the Resonant Mark II foregrip. It might look funny, but the handling and the control stats are no joke on this one, while only really dropping your stability by a tiny bit, which we are going to make better. Most of the handling stat here is also going towards ADS speed, which is really going to offset the rest of the things that we're about to put on this. So let's put on the Resonant Mark II foregrip. The left and the right rail, you can't really put anything aside from flashlights or lasers, and I don't recommend either one of those because you don't want to give away your position. So let's move on to the left and the right patch, where we're going to be choosing the KC Hound handguard panel for both of them. That means we're getting +2 on the stability, which is going to come in real handy. Next up on the magazine, I have found that 20 rounds is perfect for this weapon. You can go for 30, but it will slow you down even more, so I just go for the 20 round extended mag. Considering the fire rate of the weapon, I find 20 to be more than enough. Don't forget to put on your mag assist because that is +1 extra handling. For the optic, you have plenty of choices. This is truly all preference, so just because you see me running the Russian accuracy 2x scope doesn't mean that you have to too. Another wonderful choice for this one is the 157 fire control system or even the Viewpoint 3x scope. I just really prefer to go for the Russian accuracy 2x because that 2x zoom is more than enough for me, up to even 150 meters. If you're going further than that, then yeah, definitely go for with a 157 fire control system or something. And if you do, don't forget to put on the kill flash. But today, let's go for the 2x scope. Next is one of the most unique attachments in the game, and that is changing the trigger. You get an extra 53 rounds per minute, which is going to make your time to kill better by about 60 milliseconds, at the cost of 8 stability, which is not a big deal because of the improvements that we are making to stability. So let's put it on. Then we're changing the rear grip to the G3 rear grip. This just gives you a balanced amount of stats for every single one of them, which is going to come in handy. And last but not least, on the stock, surprisingly enough, for a marksman rifle, which I usually don't do, the Skeleton Sniper stock. That is because it gives you the handling that we need to make our calibrations later, while giving you a really good amount of stability. Remember that we did have -8 stability due to the trigger, so now the 6 from the stock plus the 2 from the rear grip really balance that out quite well. Now this is the finished build, and let me show you the stats before the calibration so that you can see what will be changing. These numbers don't mean much here in this screen, so let's go to the detailed stats, and you can see that our damage fall off multiplier has increased. As in, we can now take the weapon up to 112 meters without having any issues, while any further than that, you can pretty much add +1 to your shots to kill at any part of the body. This won't change due to calibration, so let's move on to the control, where of course you're not going to see much here, except for the definite improvements that we have made to the vertical and horizontal control, that although you don't see them here, you will feel them in a second when we go to the firing range. Moving on to the handling, these are pretty much a detailed stats, and we are going to improve this a little bit while hurting our ADS speed because you don't need that much of it due to it being a marksman rifle that you are hoping to keep further out than 70 or 80 meters. At that range, you really don't need this good of ADS speed, so although it's going to be hurt, we are going to help our ADS movement speed. So let's take a look at the stability, which is one of the more important ones here. Now, because it is a single fire weapon, you can hold your breath the whole time as you're shooting. I will always recommend that you're holding your breath, and we might hurt the breath spray range a little bit and the movement stability, but neither one of these you're going to need at most situations. So now let's move on to the calibration so we can see how we can improve the weapon. First up, on the barrel, the weight limit goes all the way down to the minimum so that we can get that extra ADS movement speed, hurting fire and stability, but you saw how good it was already, so it does not matter. And the length all the way down to the maximum so that we can get that muzzle velocity increase. This is going to make quite a difference when people are running from the sides. ADS speed won't matter that much at the ranges that you're going to be using this, so don't you worry about that negative. Then on the foregrip, we move the thickness all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS movement speed again, and the weight limit all the way to the maximum. Control is going to be very important for us because the further out your range or the more zoom that you have on the weapon, the more you will feel the recoil. So we're going to try to minimize that as much as possible here. Now moving on to the rear grip, move the weight limit all the way to the maximum for the extra control once again, and the thickness all the way down to the minimum for the extra hip fire aim speed because we don't care at all about stability when moving or aiming stability while breathing. These stats are almost meaningless for us right now, even at the ranges that you might expect them to actually be useful in. Hip fire aim speed is really just ADS speed, so this is going to offset a little bit of what we have done to the ADS speeds too. Then moving on to the stock, the weight limit all the way to the maximum for the extra control once again, and the cheek pad placement all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS movement speed. As you can tell, any chance that we have gotten to get ADS movement speed, we have taken it. That means that you should not just be sitting there because any actual sniper will be able to take you out if you're standing still. You need to continue strafing left and right with this one. And last but not least, on the optic, we move the zoom all the way up here just to get that little extra bit of zoom since we do only have a 2x scope, and the eye relief all the way down to the minimum so that you can see as much as possible within your optics window. And that is it for the calibration, so let me go to the detailed stats so that you can see what we have done. The control got even better. This is going to be much easier to control. All you're going to have to do is pull down just a little bit, as you'll see later in the firing range. And then on the handling, again, the ADS speed got a little bit worse, but not by much, and the ADS movement speed got much better. Do not forget to keep strafing whenever you're using this weapon. It will make it a lot harder for enemies to hit you. And lastly, the stability has not really changed at all. The breath sway range got a little bit worse, but it won't really affect you, and the current movement stability really won't affect you either, which is why we have sacrificed these two stats to make sure that the rest of the stats are much better. Just make sure to constantly be holding your breath whenever you're ADSing with this weapon because it will help with your recoil reduction. And now that you know the stats and we have dialed in our attachments and calibration, let's hop into the firing range to see how it handles. First, as usual, I'm going to spam my fire button as much as possible without really controlling any of the recoil, and as you can tell, it's mostly just a nice straight line upwards. So now I'm going to control without holding my breath, and I can make pretty much a perfect grouping at this range. It's super easy to control, but if I hold my breath, it just becomes infinitely easier and I barely have to do anything. All I have to do is pull down just a tiny little bit. So that does mean that at pretty far ranges, even for a 2x scope, you can just spam your left click button, or I guess your fire button if you're a mobile, and you'll definitely get some nice and easy kills at these ranges. It won't be an issue as long as they're not moving too much. Just make sure to keep on strafing as much as possible. The PSG-1 has a decent time to kill for a marksman rifle, and the muzzle velocity is pretty good. We can speed up the rounds per minute a little bit, which makes it one of the better marksman rifles available right now. And now that we have the build locked in, let's jump into a fun game in Ascension to see the setup in action. Enjoy! We're attacking on Ascension with the PSG-1, playing Luna as our recon class to get access. Let's see what we can do here today. Attacker side Ascension is probably the best one here that we could have hoped for. The best map combination for the PSG-1. Alright, well, she had no chance there. Let's throw out my ultimate. I already have it, which is crazy. This is why I'm a Luna hater. Did not expect her to already have it. There we go, another one. Probably gonna try to heal the one that I just killed, so let me just throw this out. Maybe I can get somebody. Okay, it was good though. I destroyed a gadget. We've gotta take control of this area. Then we'll have a real good time with the PSG-1 being right up on the hill. What the? That's she here. Respawn beacon. Make sure we get that. That guy's already dead. That's a dead body. Is that another respawn? That's 2 respawn beacons. That's crazy. Can't keep missing. There we go. Right up in front of me. We're good. At 340 milliseconds time to kill. We're actually pretty good at that type of distance. It's not too shabby. I'm gonna put my respawn beacon nice and close to them for future use. Get her. We're actually pretty good at these short ranges. Because it is a 3-shot kill to the chest below 112 meters. It's actually not half bad. One more shot. There we go. Whoa. That was scary. Can't believe there's another one actually. There we go. This is the range right here. This is what you want. You're gonna have a better time than others shooting at this distance. Oh! Look at that distance right here. 162. As you can tell, it's a 4-shot kill. Just not the easiest. This is not the best thing ever. There we go. 2 shots to the face is what you want. Whenever possible. Reload real quick. Now, because we have 1,000 meters per second of muzzle velocity, as you can see, I did not have to lead them very much. This guy sees me. Let's get her. There's so many people up here. Oh, man. I gotta go for the headshots a little bit more. What? Oh, it's somebody up here. Oh, my goodness. That is way too far for me to deal with. Look at that. I mean, if she sits, I cannot believe she just let me do that. 663 meters is crazy. With a 2x scope. That's what I'm saying. In this game, you really don't need any more magnification than 2x for ranges up to even like I don't know, 180. Like, I really didn't need any more than that. But that is also because they were not moving. If they're moving, having a 5x, for example, is going to be quite beneficial. Okay, got him there. Pretty close by. That's why it's actually useful to have this amount of fire rate. Is that an enemy? It was! I don't know why it didn't look like an enemy. It didn't have like a red marker or anything. Let's get him up here. There we go. Pretty good. There's one more shooting at me somewhere on the right side. Gotta keep in mind that it's a 3-shot kill below 112 meters. At and above 112, it is a 4-shot kill, so you don't want to engage too far if possible. This is a perfect range. It's 98 here, because most weapons are gonna have a difficult time to deal with you at this range. Meanwhile, yours is meant for this. Which is why we're using a 2x scope. You really don't need any more than that. You don't want to mess up your handling for those short-range fights. One more? Oh, no. Well, if they were hurt, that would have been one more. Because that was a 4-shot kill right there. I hear someone. There we go. Good. I'm glad that he had switched over to his rocket. Don't think I could have killed him if he was actually using a normal weapon. You really gotta remember that your job as a marksman is really to mess with them. Cut off those side areas. That way they have a hard time running around and flanking your teammate. So that's what you want to cut off. You want to cut off their ability to flank your team as much as possible. There's this sniper. There we go. That little bit of strafing makes it hard for them. That's how you counter snipe in this game. You really gotta strafe. That's why we actually cared about our ADS walking speed with this gun while we were rebuilding it. Had a real hard time hitting me. Oh my god, I'm on the turret. I just realized why I'm moving. Let's see, there we go. 3 points as they get on the zip line here. Wait, I kind of actually want him to spawn because I want the 3 points of him spawning right here. Come on, spawn. Yeah! There we go. Perfect. We got 9 more rounds though. Definitely gotta be careful. Gotta hit the legs. That's a 4-shot kill at the legs, even at that range. Wow, that's a couple of them. Wait, this guy's standing still. Might as well get him too. There we go. Good. Doing pretty well here. Let's go all the way around. Gotta jump on top. Come around. Is there one? Yeah, there always is. There we go, 170 if they don't move like that. Hell yeah. I'm definitely enjoying the PSG-1 more than the SKS. 100% more than the SKS. Whoa. As long as he doesn't see me. Hell yeah. Wow, there's a lot of them here. Yep. I got a grenade right here, so I might just be able to blow them up. No, never mind. It's fine, it's fine. I don't know where my grenade went. Let's get him before he destroys our vehicle. Make sure I don't miss her. This is why the 2X is very versatile. I really like how you can use it at any range almost. Hello. She switched angles, which is really good actually. She did that well, but just was not able to line up the shot quick enough on my head. Let's get him. One more shot gets him. There we go. Perfect. And who was that? Where? How am I dying from behind over there? Whoa, whoa, I'm so dead. Maybe not. Actually, I'm alive. Same guy's dead though. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's go to the left side. Let's aim this way now. We should also have a pretty good advantage over here. Look at that. Already doing well. Going for the headshots. Want to go for the headshots. Reload for a second. I only have 20 rounds because I usually don't need any more. Every once in a while, you do need to spam when there's a lot of enemies though. Okay, I see some this way. There we go. Yes, this is what the gun is for. PSG-1 excels at this scenario. There we go, let's get him. What if I just throw this out right there? Does that hit where I want it? That does. It went exactly where I wanted it to. Hell yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to this side. We're doing a lot better on this side right now. There's a lot more long-range encounters. There we go. Throw a grenade right around here somewhere. Just for them. Perfect. Throw another one of these out right here. Doing good, doing good. We should be able to take this over soon. 2 little headshots. Oh, come on, come on. Go left. Can I do this? Yes! I love that. My main issue right now is that one vehicle that I really can't deal with. But everybody else is not gonna have a good time against the PSG-1. Perfect ranges with the 2X. Just a little head glitch, just show as minimal amount of the body as I can. Just the smallest little bit of body is all I want to show. Nice little shots. One more shot on this guy, perfect. That was a wipeout. Oh yeah. Good. Stick behind here, a little head glitch. 3 shots does it. At that range at least. Okay, I should have backed up. Let's get you. There we go, don't want to let him get too close. But this is why I don't really use a higher magnification scope. I think I hear somebody to my left. I can't really tell. There is somebody. Can't believe this guy got there. He was just hiding. We're capturing C2 now. Oh yeah, why? Why must you do that to me? I love having medics on my team. They're definitely the most underrated. So a lot of people don't play them. But I really wish people knew how to use those smokes. It would be very nice. Are they still here though? They are. Crazy. Let's go. You can use it for very close too. 340 milliseconds of time to kill is nothing to scoff at least for a marksman rifle. Let's go to C1. Come on team, we got this. We can do it. That's a lot of them. Did I kill her? Yes, I did. Thought for a second I killed another person. I saw this one engineer that I know will pop out. Oh, that's a different guy. There we go. Perfect. This is perfect ranges here. Most weapons are going to struggle against you at 80 plus meters. But not an LAV. That will not struggle at that range. Might have to do something crazy. I really want to win this, so let's put out a respawn beacon over here. Hopefully my team can destroy the vehicles though. It's kind of the issue right now. Oh, I hit him in the leg. Yes, let's go. Throw that out. Perfect. Getting quite a bit of them. Respawn beacon's gone. We needed that. Scare them off a little bit. Nice little headshot. Bam. Keep them off. That's a couple. That's a couple. One more shot is all I have. So let's just throw this out. Just to scare them. Got 2 kills from that? That's amazing. Another one. Let's go. We're doing so good right now. Don't revive him. I'm not gonna let you do that. There's somebody right on top of me. Well, it seems like we could not match their vehicle use. It's kind of what it came down to here. But we did really well with the PSG-1. Let's see the lost screen. There we go. That was the PSG-1. A really fun gun to use. I actually like it a lot more than the SKS and the SR25. I did not expect that. But after seeing how I used it here, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this PSG-1 build and if you have a way to improve it even more. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Owl out.